any contact with their friends and loved ones back home. So lots concerned about that. It's why local businesses here are rallying now to try to raise money to help with disaster relief.
Anything we can do here to help, we should be able to, because every helping hand goes a long way.
We all gotta look out for each other, right? Especially in times like this.
Meantime, another Toronto-based charity, it's called Global Medic, has already contacted the Jamaican government offering to send water purification kits, drones, and some family emergency kits to the island. Reporting live in Little Jamaica on Eglinton West, I'm Carl Hansky.
You see that shit, folks? There's people organizing to go help Jamaica. Not the right people organizing to help Jamaica. Just people that are organizing to help Jamaica. Let me tell you guys, people, let me tell y'all something. Y'all gotta understand something. The government's never there to help, because if the government helped you the way you were supposed to be helping, the one person would help another 20 people, and out of those 20 people, you maybe get 5 people that are gonna go back and help another 20 people, and so forth. Nobody in their right mind's gonna come and argue with me and tell me that this world is fucking lollipops, unicorns, and fucking Lucky Charms. All that shit's been dead. Y'all should have never exposed the world to COVID. It's just that simple. Because now, the system that I've grown up thinking was reliable, I know is fuck shit. And I know if I teach my children to depend on y'all system, and it just ain't gonna work. They got my blood in them. They may look as beautiful as their mother, but they got my blood in them. So eventually what's going to happen is they're going to feel the pain of others, and they're going to want to fight. They're going to want to fight. Now, unlike the rest of you fucking people, I ain't lying to these kids no more. I'm telling them the goddamn truth. From slavery, down to the fucking prison system, down to how the fuck you guys are prefer to hire more cops than build community centers, build hospitals, build old folks homes. No, but you're gonna hire more fucking cops. So let's just make sure you guys understand this. The criminal element and the police element are on 2 different levels. The police are playing catch up to the criminal element that's getting help from the government. Hence why they're still criminals in present day. Think about it, kids. You go to fucking Cuba, you go to fucking Japan, you go to China, you go to Italy, you go to all these places that have all these organized crime factions. And they're all tied in with their government. All tied in. The last fucking tsunami that happened in fucking Japan, who was helping the people? The fucking criminals. Jesus Christ was considered a criminal. All his powers, and they still hung him. You guys are wondering why I'm upset? I'm not upset. I know I have family in fucking yard. But I ain't into no pity like every typical fucking Jamaican. And what everybody's now going to see Jamaica do is turn around and lick out against them. Because when Gilbert came, where the fuck were you guys? Gilbert, 90s. 2000, where the fuck were you guys? 2010, where the fuck were you guys? COVID hit. Now you guys are talking about Ray. Poor Haiti's getting hit with storms. So people, let's just get straight. We've known now for almost 15 years the government's been using the weather as a weapon. So you don't surprise me when you're hitting the coast of Africa, you're crushing Haiti, you're crushing Guyana, and now you're going after Cuba and Jamaica. It doesn't fucking faze me. What it should do is unite more human beings. So now start looking to the person beside you and not worry about if they have COVID or not. Worry if they're a fucking human being. Worried if they're not a bot working for the fucking govy. That's it. The same way when you're on your social media and you're like, oh, this person's a fake account. Oh, this is a burner account. Now you're going to have to walk around and look at people like that in real life. Real fucking life. That's what's upsetting me, because most people are going to be blinded to it, just like how they were blinded to COVID. Come on, folks. I told y'all from the beginning, what they're going to do is tell you you're in danger. Then they're going to tell you they have a fucking cure for you being in danger. And then if you don't think critical, you won't know that they actually are the ones who made the virus. Hence how they have a fucking cure. Because if they went through the normal fucking processes of building a fucking cure for a disease, our standards in Canada is 7 to 10 years before you can even put it on a human. And I think it's 3 to 5 years to even do it for an animal. And I ain't got no Harvard education. I ain't coming from no fucking big money fucking education. I'm just looking at it as I'm not illiterate. I can read. So it makes me a threat. That's one thing. And then on top of that, I'm not backing down no more. Fuck you guys. You guys never gave a fuck about us in 2019. You never gave a fuck about us in 2010. And I definitely know right now, currently, since our fucking prime minister is fucking hiring 1,000 more MPs, I mean, RCMPs, when one person's paycheck in the caucusing of our government can pay out their own constituents. So I saw my Green Party leader say, like, in your running, who can afford their rent if they're on welfare and they're only getting $390 Canadian? Or if they're on disabilities, that handicap thing that's different from welfare and food stamps, and they're only getting $599. Where can they live in their riding? Where? Well, let's get to the point here. The point is, the same system is in control. And when I mean the same system, I mean the fact that Canada only has a Bank of Montreal, a Bank of Scotia, a Bank of blah, 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 and a Bank of blah, blah, blah. All four of those banks are the only banks that run things. And every other bank, Indian, Asian, Chinese, Japanese, whatever you want to call it, whatever other fucking thing you want to call it, they have their own banks. So why can't we, black people, have our own banks? Why can't we buy land? You know why we can't buy land? Because none of our needy people are in places where they can put other needy people in place to make them land grabs. No. And if y'all don't know, since 2014, aka it happened in 2013, they put it through sometime in 2008. There is no fucking free land in this fucking side of this North America. So this is why they're making it seem like the homeless people are a fucking problem. It's not the homeless people that's a fucking problem. It's the problem that now none of the land is Canadian born. So you're born today, you have no rights to the land. That's the real fucking problem. So you want to cure homelessness? It's very fucking easy. All you fucking got to do is actually talk to these homeless people, just like the drug dealers do. Same thing. And a drug dealer will tell you exactly what the fuck is wrong with this person, because guess what? That person's using a drug, and they, for some reason, explain to the drug dealer why. So you're going to tell me now, right now, that we're going to sit here and debate and talk about plans and more planning to do this and do that. No, we need action. We don't need no more talking. You know what the slave trade did. You know what work and employment is doing right now currently. And you're going to tell me your supervisor is going to tell you what to do in your gut. You know better. That's on you then. Right now, Blue Motherfucking Monday is a show for the guys who's here to rant. The guy who's a fucking low-grade motherfucker and he's doing supervisor fucking work. It's for the lawyer that wants to fucking see people who did crimes go to jail. That's it. If we keep it hip-hop, it's jungle justice, bitches. If we keep it hip-hop. But then if we're going to keep it hip-hop, a lot of you Caucasian people who be into this hip-hop is going to run around and jump right back into your fucking white privilege fucking attitude, because you can't handle the problems that come with it. You can't. Because once your own people turn around and start looking at you like you're fucking needy and you're fucking black, yeah, there's a fucking problem, right? Right? So let me explain something to you, Mr. Caucasian person or Mrs. Caucasian person. When your kid doesn't go into the bank and speak that Jew language, they ain't getting shit. If your kid happens to be a little bit melanin, more so than your husband, grandfather, grandmother, whatever, they ain't getting it. This is the shit I'm talking about. And Americans understand it, because how many Americans have great ideas and just need the money to start the idea? How many? How many inventions out there are black? And none of the money that's being made right now currently is going back to any black community. This is the issue I'm talking about. Y'all Americans are talking about the civil fucking war. Here's my question. Do you even know why you're having a civil war? Because in the end of the day, it's not the government versus the people right now. The government got the people versus the people, and the government's going to lock up both sides. Both sides. So that means nobody's right. Everybody's right. And that's where they got you by the balls. You're not right, but you are. And the person beside you is not right, but they are. Because jungle justice is something that's in our nature. Us humans, we're killing each other before we could speak. So obviously you guys gotta understand where I'm coming from with this, right? Blue Motherfucking Monday is about ranting. I go live, so I don't have to sit there and script no shit and try to talk all proper and try to keep my so-called monetization. Fuck that. I don't care about money. There's not enough money that's gonna save me if me and you have beef. It's just that simple. So when they say pride's a sin, it's the goddamn truth. Hence why I said, you're right, but you're wrong. Get it? So as human beings, how about we get together, work together as human beings and go further? Aside from that, don't bring me into your bullshit, because I'll tell you, I'm not with the G0V. I'm a hip hopper. That means I'm from the struggle. And nobody in the government knows about struggle. And because they don't know about struggle, this is why we're in the problems that we're in. I love Olivia Chow as the person, because I know her personally. So, because I know her personally, I'm not going to judge her on what she may or may not be able to do for our city. But what I will do when I do get the chance to sit down and talk to her is give her some ideas, like what Louis did for me and what I did for Louis. Louis understands my point of view. I'm the other side of that sharp knife. You know how they say the sword has a double-sided shape on both sides? Well, Louis was one side and I was the other side. Because Louis won't tell you the truth without telling you the facts. And I'm a fact. Because without me, there wouldn't be police running around shooting kids and destroying fucking lives. Now, if you're going to tell me that our police save more lives than they take, then you need to go with the government and stand in front of my rifle. That's all I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, when us Nijis were policing ourselves, had our own judges, had our own banks, had our own police officers, you decided to come and bomb us and have us working for you. So you'd rather have the disgruntled employee, the disgruntled slave. You guys are so prone and trained into your DNA that when now we lick out, because it's in our DNA to lick out, we're in struggle. It's in my DNA from before I was born. So COVID coming along and opening my eyes to the truth, you guys are going to have to kill me now. You're going to have to kill me. And I swear on my kids, all of y'all are getting it. All of y'all. So once you expose yourself, you're just going to start a chain of reactions. I'm just telling you people right now. They're trying to wash us out. They're trying to rain us out. They're trying to earthquake us out. And then they're trying to keep the American people confused and fighting with themselves. Confused and fighting with themselves. Remember what J.D. Rockefeller said. He doesn't want a bunch of thinkers. No. He just wants a bunch of fucking employees. So start thinking to yourself and comparing yourself to them. And wonder, instead of saying, what would Jesus do? Think, what would John Rockefeller do? And then holler at me. Praise the Lord and all that bullshit that you guys are on. But you guys keep forgetting they murdered Christ. You could tell me it was in Jah's plan. You could tell me it was Christ's divine choice to die for our sins. Then explain to me how did slavery came into existence. Because that was around way before Christ. Either way, it's Blue Motherfucking Monday. If y'all here bitching at the boy about, oh, I shouldn't be going at Friday so hard. I shouldn't be talking about Ricky Dredd so hard. He shouldn't do lives. He shouldn't go live. He should just stick to the format that he's on. Period. And the only reason why I'm in it is because I was actually watching his program, still giving him the benefit of the doubt because he's number one. But dude, you're not number one because you're putting in work with the fucking artists and you're putting in work with the fucking people. No, you're number one because you just stole all the criminal energy and you kept it to yourself. You didn't share it back to Dre Bars. You didn't share it back to Adam Bomb. You didn't share it back to Turk. You didn't share it back to Thorough. You didn't share it back. That's the funny part. And I watched that for years and didn't say shit. Then you decided to go live, run into my market now. Now, I don't want to be compared to you because you're scripted. I don't give a fuck what you want to tell me, Mr. Montreal. You're fucking scripted. And now, in my eyes, you're a fucking politician. So for everybody who sent me a message, I'm not even upset with you that you sent me the message. I'm going to clarify that I'm not trying to beef with the man. I just don't want him to use We Love Hip Hop as his own personal, I don't know what to call it. Because at the end of the day, you're not in these streets, homie. So you don't know about these struggles. The only struggles you do know is when you were hearing from Montreal trying to get your rap career off the ground with Empire. That's it. And the most I can say is the fact that your names was ringing bells the same time Point Blank was up and coming, the same time that fucking TNT was up and coming, the same time them I can go on. I'm a Toronto person. Do I gotta put on my mask so you recognize the nigga that I am? Listen, people. I can't do this alone, and I don't care if you help me or not. I've seen an ex-Marine build a machine that turns air into water. And instead of the government helping him, they're shutting him down. When Detroit was sitting there with poison water, this guy was bringing his invention over there to help those people, and the government was shutting him down. Philadelphia has been bombed by its own government. Yeah, it happened many, many years ago. But at the end of the day, if a country is willing to bomb itself and bomb its own civilians, its own people, like, why does the rest of the world recognize criminals as humans still? Why? Why in America, North America, if you're a criminal, you're just a modern day slave. And if you're not a criminal and you work a 9-to-5 job, you're still a modern day slave. Do you know being locked up back in the day, after you paid for your body bag, I think back in the day it was like $110, or maybe now I think it's like $220 right now. But anyways, after you pay that, everything else that you do in there is profit. So if you're in there for 5 years, you're still making money profit-wise. But then, you know, Victoria's Secret's fucking bubbling, Gucci's fucking bubbling, Balenciaga is bubbling. How much does it take to house and feed a criminal? Less than $500 fucking dollars. And that holds that criminal all month long. So just say one criminal times that by 5, right? Times that by 5. Whatever number you get, multiply that by 12. And remember, the government's only going to tell you the net, not the gross. Love, peace, and hair grease.